Welcome to Movement and Function. I'm Beth Wagner. Today I have a really fun video for you. I'm going to show you my favorite way to get a full body conditioning workout by making just one adjustment to how I do standard resistance exercises. Here's the secret. Stand on one foot while you're doing them. And part two, that's even better, is to lighten up the resistance that you usually use. So you'll get more benefit out of your workout by using less resistance. That's a win-win in my book. While this move is basic, standing on one foot, I'm going to show you a lot of variations so that you can choose the best movements that work for your body. If you can't balance on one foot quite yet, that's just fine. You can still do all these exercises. Start out without any resistance, stand next to a countertop for support, and just do one arm movement at a time. You'll see what I mean as I go through these. You can modify all of these exercises to exactly where you are at with your balance and with your training. Build up until you can do the exercises without the countertop assistance, then gradually add in resistance. So wherever you're starting from, you can modify these exercises. Secondly, if you're new to upper body resistance training, start these exercises without any resistance. As you feel more and more comfortable, as you build up strength, then add light resistance like a soup can or a 1 to 2 pound dumbbell. You'll still feel a lot of upper body conditioning even without using any resistance with these. Okay, let's start with upper body exercises. Any upper body exercise that you've been doing automatically becomes full body conditioning just by balancing on one leg. The key components to these exercises in terms of form is to make sure you're engaging your lower abdominals, you're engaging your gluteal muscles, your butt muscles, in order to keep your pelvis neutral. So you don't want your pelvis tipped forward and you don't want your pelvis tipped too far back. You want to maintain the natural curve in your spine and you want to feel a nice, smooth contraction, firmness in your abdominals and in your glutes. The second thing is breathing. As you're doing these exercises, for the most part, you want to exhale during the exertion part of the movement. So when you're lifting your arm or lifting the weight, you want to exhale. Inhale when you come back to the starting position. Finally, how many of these should you do? Go to fatigue, which means do as many as you can, rest, and then switch legs with the next exercise. Do as many as you can and rest. If you really want a number, shoot for 5 to 10 repetitions. And each exercise might be different depending on your baseline strength and conditioning. The purpose of this is to listen to your body and do what feels good for you. Try starting with just one set of these exercises, and as you feel more and more comfortable, build up to 2 sets, 3 sets, maybe even 4 sets. I'm giving you a lot of options and a lot of variation here because you will get the most out of this program if you really make it your own. I'm going to be using 3-pound dumbbells with these exercises. Start with whatever you feel comfortable with. If these movements are new for you, start with no weight at all or a light soup can or 1 to 2 pounds. If you've been doing upper body exercises with quite a bit of resistance, then still back way off on what you usually use. Maybe start with a 5-pound dumbbell or a 10-pound dumbbell, again, depending on your baseline. Exercise number 1 is a bicep curl. First of all, I'm going to set my posture and my form. I'm going to engage my abdominals, engage my glutes, relax my shoulders down and back, lift my chest, and do a little bit of a chin tuck. Now I'll shift my weight over to my right leg, lift my left foot off the ground, and start with the bicep curl. I can do both at the same time. I can alternate. I can do a standard bicep curl where I curl and I bring my palms up toward my shoulder, or I can do a hammer curl where I keep my wrist neutral. All of these are awesome options. Feel them out, try them all, see what feels best for you. Exercise number 2 is lateral raise. Starting with good posture, this time shift my weight to the left leg. I'll lift my right leg up. Now exhale, lift the weights up to the side, pause. Inhale and lower. Exhale, lift the weights up to the side, pause. Inhale, lower. With this exercise, I definitely recommend doing both at the same time. Don't try to lift one arm up at a time. Weird stuff starts to happen in the neck. I recommend doing both arms at the same time. and then lower your foot when you're tired. The next exercise is a shoulder press. Start with the weights or your hands, if you're not using weights, at shoulder level. Shift your weight over to the right leg, lift the left, and press the weights up overhead and come back down. Press up, exhale, come back down, inhale. Exhale, press up, inhale, come back to the starting position. And lower your left foot and then lower the weights. Exercise number 4 is a skull crusher. Be very careful with this exercise if you're not familiar with it, as the weights will be over your head. For obvious reasons, make sure you do not drop the weights. You can do this exercise with no weights, 1 weight, or 2 weights. I'm going to show you the option with 2 weights. So I'll shift my weight to the left leg, lift my right leg, bring the weights up over your head, and then, keeping your elbows facing forward, lower your hands toward your shoulders. And then lift them back up. Lower the weights and lift them back up. Be sure that you're keeping your abdominals and your glutes engaged so that your back does not arch. Exercise number 5 is a diagonal lift. I'll shift my weight to the right leg, lift my left leg. Now with one arm at a time, I'm going to bring my hand toward the opposite knee and then up and out to the side in a diagonal pattern. Do as many as you can, and pause and rest your foot. The final upper body exercise combines shoulder strengthening with abdominal strengthening. You may have done a punch rotation exercise before. This time, we're going to do it on one leg. So I'll shift my weight to the left leg, lift my right leg, engage my abdominals and my glutes, stand with good posture, lift the weights up to chest high, and now punch one at a time and let your shoulders rotate. This is a great exercise for the entire body, from your toes all the way up to your neck. So you're getting a lot of work through the shoulders, through the trunk, the core, your hips, and your legs. Do as many as you can and lower. All right, let's move on to some lower body exercises. Essentially, these are going to be single leg squats. Now, squat mechanics are really important with this exercise, obviously. So as you squat, you do not want to be just bending your knee forward or rounding over forward like that, which is going to make me lose my balance. What you want to do is maintain good upright posture and sit back. So bring your butt back as if you're going to sit down into a chair. This will help you keep your weight even over the middle to the back of your foot. You actually want your weight over your heel with this one. Only go down as far as you feel comfortable going, especially when you start out. Do as many as you can, and then lower your foot. Now, a progression of this exercise is to add in the diagonal that we just did with the squat. So I'll shift my weight this time onto my right foot, lift my left foot. With my left arm, as I squat, I'm going to reach down for my knee, and then as I stand back up, I'm going to bring my arm up and out. Squat lower, butt back, abs engaged, stand up, glutes engaged, abs engaged. Do as many as you can, and then rest and lower your foot. The final exercise is a squat clock reach. I'll shift my weight onto my left foot. With my right foot, as I squat down, I'm going to reach my right heel forward. Then I'll come back up to the starting position. Next one, reach my right heel out to the side, come back up. Third position, reach my toe behind me and come back up. So that's heel forward and up, heel to the side and up, and toe back and up. For the squats, actually all these exercises, I recommend doing these in front of a full-length mirror so that you can watch your form. I already mentioned keeping your weight back over your heels and sitting back in your seat as you do these exercises. The other thing to look for is the position of your knee. Make sure as you're squatting that your knee stays over your ankle and doesn't tip in. That happens quite a bit, is that the knee caves in, and that can be pretty harsh on your knee and on your hip. So make sure your knee is staying over your ankle. If you have a hard time with that, start by holding on to a countertop or even having your toe lightly on the floor to help you. It's normal to expect muscle ache and discomfort with these exercises. For example, muscle ache in the quads, or your glutes in your butt, or deep in your abdomen, in your stomach muscles. That's normal. But if you're feeling joint pain right in the knee joint itself or in your spine, then stop doing these exercises. Take a couple days break, and then when you do come back, start with less repetition and lower resistance. Then gradually build up as you feel comfortable without aggravating any joint discomfort. Of course, I want you to be safe with all of these exercises, so please don't push yourself to the point of falling over. If you start to lose balance while you're standing on one leg, simply put the other leg down on the ground. If you're unsure about this, start without any resistance and stand close to a countertop in case you need to put your hand down. It's much more important to build confidence and strength with these exercises instead of taking a chance on falling and having an injury. So be safe and take your time with all of these exercises. As for progression, when these exercises become easy, add more repetitions, more sets, and increase the level of resistance. Those are all great ways to progress these exercises. I hope this video has been helpful for you, and I hope you have some fun doing these exercises. If you have any questions or comments you'd like to share with me how you're doing with these exercises, please leave them down below. Feel free to share this video with anybody you think might also have some fun with these exercises. And if you haven't already, please click the big red subscribe button. If you'd like to be notified when I release my next video, click the bell next to the subscribe button. And it's always great to see a thumbs up. Here's to your health and happiness. I hope you have a fantastic day.